Hey everybody, got some downtime this January, and I've been meaning to do this for a long time. And we're about to do a bunch of upgrades to the Bald Move studio, so that'll be a cool time and opportunity to get a chance to, I guess, give a tour of the 1.0 or 2.0 version of Bald Move Studio before we tear it down and start making improvements, kind of as a historical record, and also a way to kind of show this what we're working with. So this is our office. Come inside with me. We have this is our the antechamber of our office. It is essentially a place where we watch and produce content. If you look over here, this is where we watch TV when we watch stuff at Bald Move. This is actually Jim's old couch. This is about as old as Bald Move itself, and you can kind of tell this is a shitty nice couch, and it had a lot of nice features, but apparently the quality isn't what one would want in a piece of fine furniture, and you can kind of see. Jim's ass has spent a lot more time on this than mine has, because this couch was his couch. It actually lived at his house for years and years and years. It is kind of cool. It's got electronic reclining features, which is super sweet. We just recently rigged this up to where we could do live watches, and you can see there's some wires. I haven't really done a great job of running through the ceiling yet because it's kind of in flux. These are also the portraits that Tulo Brow did for us, so we know which seat we're supposed to sit in. We also have some rigged up mic stands, like this one that is, I've shoved a cheap aluminum mic stand, articulated mic arm into I think that's a tripod that's meant for lighting gear. And as a result, I can either fully decline my couch or my seat, or I can open our mini fridge here, but I can't do both, unfortunately. So that's something I'm wanting to fix with a little bit of custom hardware. I'd like to get that done before our 24-hour Groundhog Day watch session. It's February 2nd, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. This is our television. It's nothing remarkable. I think it's either 36 or 40-inch Samsung LED, and it's got connected to Cincinnati Bell Fioptics television. That's where we get all of our television. We've got a Sling box hooked up to it. That's how we live watch The Walking Dead. It's also how Jim and I watch stuff from at home sometimes when we need to. We got a really cheap webcam. These aren't actually super cheap. I think they're like $90. They're Logitech C920s, if I recall. But that's what we've been using since the history of Bald Move began. This is very quick and dirty. Our lighting system is essentially a shop light with a LED bulb that I can twist on and twist off. That gives us the bare light needed for our cameras to pick us up when we're doing a live watch. We do like to have mood lighting when we're doing our live watch. We just have it's lit by a couple torch lamps without the office lights being on. Let's see. This is our main editing workstation. This is our most powerful computer that we have. This is also the machine that we play video games on when you watch us do Let's Plays, the Telltale style Let's Plays. We pipe the video from there into the studio where we record it, but this is where it's played on, and this is where we do all our video editing. It's pretty beastly setup. Let's see. This is the back of the famous Matt Damon banner, which we'll be seeing in the studio room proper. This is kind of. Speaking of the live watch stuff, I've cobbled this together to make it work for the last season of The Walking Dead, and something we want to going forward. We got a articulated arm. This is how we can monitor the recording while we're actually watching. We can see and make sure everything's recording fine. We can get it all set up from the comfort of our couch. All of our mics go into this little Scarlett 2i2 from Focusrite. It's a really simple 2-mic recorder. It doesn't really give a lot of advanced mixing capabilities. We also have this Behringer headphone amp that allows us to. We got this. This is so fucking rigged up, man. We got this headphone splitter that will reverse putting our output of our microphones and the output from the TV into the input of this headphones, and that's the way we synthesize the TV's volume and the sound of our own voice. So when we watch TV with our headphones, we can actually hear each other speak and hear the content, the television content. But it's a super rigged up. We also, because this one thing you run into, and as a tip for aspiring podcasters, you can a lot of times get voltage imbalances on your audio equipment, especially if you're plugging stuff into various parts of the room, different outlets, and you can introduce a loud whine, and we did that, and you can kill it with I think this is called a ground loop isolator. It's like a 10-butt part. It's just a magic device that makes that shitty whine go away. The nerve center, the center to everything around Bald Move Swirls, is this thing that's mounted up to the wall. It's the Bald Move recording station, and it's getting old. It's probably about 4 years old at this point, but it's one of the things we're going to be upgrading. But it's been a workhouse for us. Let me show you how this stuff is all set up through here. So a couple of pieces of gear here. This is a HDMI switch that allows us to switch input from a Chromecast. That's how we like show each other videos and watch like internet content on our monitors, and output from the Bald Move recording computer and also from the gaming computer. We can switch that, and we actually have an infrared remote control from the studio. So if Jim reaches and stretches, he can kind of remote operate that from the studio. We also have these. I added this as another part of the rig. These two HDMI splitters. This allows me to duplicate the output that goes to the studio, which I'll be showing you here in a minute, and also that output goes to these two monitors, the television and the monitor, so we can do live watches. We also have this is our Elgato recorder. It allows us to take HDMI content and capture it. And it feeds that in through this USB cable to the front of the box. Here, we also have this HDMI cable that leads to a hub that's tied to the back of the television, and that's how we tie in like our keyboard inputs for out here and also the webcam inputs. So that all, I don't know if you can see that. I hope this stuff isn't too dark. That feeds up to the editing station up here. We also have these HDMI cables coming in. I think this is a free one for future use, because running through the cables through the ceiling is no fun. I should have run conduit. If you're running cable through things, fucking run conduit so you only have to do it once. Learn your lesson from Uncle Aaron, kids. We just have a shit ton of USB outputs. We have one for every camera. Obviously, we have 3 camera setups. We have our mouse and keyboard. We have our audio inputs and outputs. This is how we pipe audio in and out of the Bald Move recording station and the Bald Move video game playing station into our soundboard, which again I'll show you in a minute. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in here that's exciting that I'm forgetting. It doesn't look like it. But yeah, all this stuff runs into the ceiling and runs either over to our editing workstation, or it runs into the studio proper, which is this. A wild Jim appears.
I take exception with your description of my couch.
What? Are you want to defend it? You bitch about it way more than I do, man.
An expensive, shitty couch. Come on.
No. I meant to say it's a shitty, nice. Like it looks awesome. It has a lot of high-end features, but it hasn't stood up to the test of time. I mean, it hurts my back. It's like for whatever reason the left side of my ass sags and my right side is too high. I don't know what's going on with it.
Sounds like a problem with your ass, not my couch.
Yeah, my ass needs to be true leveled.
I'm gonna go get some food.
Okay, do that because I'm about to do this thing. So all of our shit comes running through the ceiling here. This feeds in our cable, our video output. These HDMI cables go to our 2 trusty monitors, studio monitors. All of our studio monitors are 22-inch Asus monitors. They're the best They're the best $100 22-inch monitors money can buy. Trying trying to think what else. We have some powered USB 3.0 USB extensions that allows us to take the input that we have from our webcams. These are the webcams that capture us that we use for Lunch with Jim and Aaron and all of our other content. USB can only run like 15 feet without a powered extension, and that's what these things provide. And we have Drogon that we got from oh man, where did we get that from? I'll have to get back on that. I want to say Castle Creation, but I know that's actually a remote controlled airplane company. Factory Entertainment sent us that and a lot of the other Game of Thrones merchandise we have. And also, this was the crow that was sent to us by the fans to let us know that the gold did in fact get to King's Landing this year. These are ceiling mounted camera mounts. We used to have tripods mounted to both sides of our desks, and they just took up an enormous amount of floor space. Putting them on the ceiling allowed us to get much closer to our face, which improved the video quality, and they don't shake as much, and as long as we don't touch them, they behave themselves. There's another USB cable that feeds down here. This is the underneath our desk. This is something Jim and I made ourselves at the start of Bald Move, this desk. We've got a power strip secured here. We also zip tied this big USB hub. This is where a lot of the camera stuff feeds into. All of our like keyboards and mice feed into it. Also, these articulated arms, these flexi mounts have built-in USB hubs into them as well. So that's pretty handy if we need to move keyboards and mice around without fucking up too much stuff. Let's see what else. This is the 2x4 that is propping up this end of the table after. If you remembered when Eric Walquist came for Bike Packs, he actually his heavy ass uranium elbows broke our table, so we have a 2x4 there that's propping things up. Let's see what else. Yes. So that's pretty much the audio video that's pretty much the video component of the Bald Move Studio. Go to Jim's side of the desk here. This is the main audio nexus, nerve center of the Bald Move Studio. This is a Focusrite 18i8. It gives us 4 XLR inputs, and it's also cool because they're also quarter-inch jack inputs. It's one of those things got the XLR on the outside and inside it's got, so you can use either XLR microphones or you can use quarter-inch audio jacks like patch cables, or you can get like obviously adapters for the 3.5 millimeter. We have our headphone preamps so we can independently control how loud the volume is. My ears aren't as good as Jim's, so I need a little bit more volume. But yeah, our mics come through here. This is I think, what the hell is this? One of these is the audio. One of these cables is the audio from the recording machine, and one of these is the audio from the Bald Move video game machine. So we can get input from either machine into our mixer and then send it to our software wherever it needs to go. He also has just a lot of cool merchandise and stuff that we've collected over the years, but maybe that'll be a podcast for a different day. We use these are. What are these? These are Shure SM58s. These are like well-regarded traveling musician microphones. They are heavy. They're built like tanks. They sound decent. They're not great, but what's nice is we don't have like a quiet studio environment. We never had like an isolated studio environment. And these, as long as you keep them close to your mouth, like fist away, picks up a good amount of vocal range, at least for male voices. A lot of times I have to boost Cecily when she's in here because it doesn't pick up the higher frequencies as well. But yeah, they're utterly reliable, and they will probably outlive us. And that's what we use. We're thinking about upgrading soon, but I just want to make sure we got these venerable war horses in before we do that. We use Rode articulated mic stands that are like They're great. They're expensive. I think they're like $150, maybe $200, but they let you put the microphone where you want the microphone, and it stays there until you move it. I have a bad habit of always grabbing and like shifting and moving. It's like a nervous habit I have, but it's not the mic stand. It's my neuroses. So yeah, that's how that works. And then what else? We have a variety of, it's tough to light the studio, so we have a variety of lights that give us background. You're supposed to have 3 sources of lighting for each subject. We also upgraded 2 years ago, or when we moved into the studio, so I guess this is 18 months ago, a semi-professional lighting system, LED, where we can control the color of the light and intensity of the light, and this is the primary fill light for Jim and I's mugs. This is our whiteboard. It's clean because we just got done doing the Baldy's planning and we haven't begun our next phase. And we don't actually, we do more stuff with Google Docs, but sometimes you can't replace the utility of a good whiteboard. This is our mobile recording rig. There's nothing in it now because I cabbaged the 2-channel mic input for the makeshift live watch studio over there. That's about all this thing has on it that's interesting. It's storage or Christmas tree, some old Bald Move t-shirts and stuff. This is our file cabinet where we have all of our business docs. This is my deal. This is my contribution. Jim does the tech support. I do the finances. I have a bright red unfiled folder because Jim would continually file shit in the wrong place, so it makes it nice and easy. Just put in your receipts in the red folder and don't drive me crazy. That's about it for the tech. We have our fiber optic modem here. This is where the network comes in to the building, or at least to our studio. You'll notice that our studio is actually a facade. We built this thing to look exactly like the studio that we had at Jim's house. Built it and painted it so we had a continuity. I mean, it looks exactly like the studio we had at Jim's inside this little, studio we got in Cincinnati. We've got just a ton of merch that people have given us over the years, and the famed Bald Move liquor cabinet, which has just tons of every type of alcohol you'd want. Our day in and day out drink, our booze of choice is Jim Beam bourbon. It's great for mixing. It's great for sipping. You can put ice in it or not. It's the juice that keeps us going. But yeah, this is our current technology, and almost all of it's going to change in 2018. We're going to get a completely different. Camera setup. We're going to get a completely different. Audio setup. We're actually going to upgrade our mixer and put that outside in the live watch studio. And we're going to put the mobile gear back into the mobile cabinet, or the mobile shockproof case. And like I said, I just wanted to get a lay of the land. This has been kind of stable for us for 2 or 3 years. We largely took everything from Jim's second bedroom and moved it to our studio, and it's done well for us. But yeah, we do all of our podcasts from this little 2-room office studio in Cincinnati, and I hope this has been interesting and you've enjoyed it, and fills a gap in some of the content, because I know we've been quieter than normal doing our business planning and refactoring all this. But like I said, we're going to be doing a lot of improvements, and it's going to look a lot different probably 6 months from now. So, but this is, I'm trying to think, our first studio was my spare bedroom in Greenfield. So that's the Bald Move 1.0. Our second studio was Jim's apartment in Cincinnati. That's Bald Move 2.0. This is Bald Move 3.0. Bald Move 4.0 is coming. But yeah, thanks for touring the studio with us, and we will talk to you later. Bye.